Live. Let's get it
There we
popping.
go. There we
Yes,
go.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we had a little
Uh,
technical difficulties last week. It's all good.
yeah, man. What a phenomenal start to start though. That was
You,
crazy. That was
you
good.
live and you learn. Don't everybody ever tell. I don't ever want to hear nobody ever say I'm perfect because I fucked that all the way up.
It was a recording
Foundation was
issue.
crazy then.
It was a
Yeah,
recording issue.
yeah.
It's all right, but
Foundation was
we're
crazy.
recording now.
Foundation was crazy. But yeah, man. Shouts out to everybody. Welcome to Everybody Has a Mic podcast. It's your boy
So
Stevie.
1A.
Well, yeah. It's your boy Stevie V. If you would like, you can add me on Instagram. I'm Mr. S.B. I'm excited to be here with my brothers, two good gentlemen. You know what I mean? Hardworking men that put in work and work with purpose, man. So welcome to the podcast from my perspective. It's definitely nice to speak to whoever's going to listen because we're gonna get busy.
This is JT Malone, Justin Malone, the man formerly known as Freak Nasty from the mean streets of Connecticut. By way of North Philadelphia, currently living in New Jersey. I'm an East Coast legend. If you ain't know, you ain't been tapped in long enough. That's all I gotta say to you.
Dag, he's not lying though. It's accurate. Oh man, it's crazy. He's still a freak nasty. He stole. He borrowed.
No, I took it.
He took it. I'll never forget this dude named Freak Nasty. He had a rap song. If y'all don't know, I don't know if we can even say the rap song, but it was like an anthem too. It was like
It was a party anthem.
It was a party anthem. It was
Yeah.
the dip, right?
Yep.
And this
That's
man
Atlanta.
comes to me. Yeah,
Oh,
it
okay.
comes to me. I don't know if it came
Yeah.
to me in high school or middle school. I don't remember what it was. But Justin was like, JT Malone sat there, came to me and was like, yo, Mo, that dude, Freak Nasty, garbage. I'm taking this man's name. I'm in his career right now. I was like, what? Swear to you.
That is how it occurred.
That man never had a song again. And only people know Freak Nasty from this man. I
Oh
swear
my
to y'all,
God.
my mama calling Freak Nasty. Yo, it's the truth.
The man in Cancun called me Freak Nasty.
It's true. And it's people like, people be like, yo, Justin, yo, they be like, Justin, who? I'll be like, yo, Freak. They be like, oh yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, dag, yo.
I've witnessed some crazy stuff throughout the years, so that's all I'm going to tell the world.
But Mo, introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. I got distracted. My name is Mo. My name is Mo. I'm a DJ. I dabble in fitness, music, all that good stuff. Entrepreneur of stuff like that. Nah, keep the game on actually, because I like to hear the yelling and talking. So right now the game is right now it's say it Eagles versus the Commanders. I'm sorry,
Yes.
can't say the other name anymore. The
Yep.
Eagles versus Commanders, NFL. They watching it right now, and it's for the division for the division
First
leader,
place.
right?
Yeah, first place. Wow.
I
The
want them to keep
Washington
it
racial
on.
slurs.
I want him to keep it on. I want him to keep it on. So real reaction. I want to. If you need to cuss and yell in the moment, that's a yell in the moment. It's all right.
That's great.
But again, my name is Mo. Entrepreneur, DJ, my own DJ business, fitness business, and all that good stuff. It's all good. But and motivate you one is my motivate you one is my Instagram thing, and I do the one note challenge thing on there. If you know who I am, if you realize this is my real voice and not the automated woman voice, that triggers a lot of people, and that's why I keep doing it because I'm a genius with that. But anyway,
People really think that's your voice?
no, they
No.
really just get triggered. They're like, when I was in the girl voice, I said, you have 8 seconds. There's an 8-second video. Answer the one note challenge. It's a music question. There's an 8-second video. Stay focused.
People
If
worry
you have
about
to
the
ask
wrong
that, they
stuff.
worry about the wrong things. But you know what?
The,
People
the, the, wor-
on
the worst is when they're like, it's more than 1 second. It's like,
I
oh
said,
my
yeah,
God.
it's more than one. And I said, and I type in there. I'm like, and you still didn't get the answer.
Oh, but
You
you
only
tell
have
me to
one
stay out
job.
the comments.
But you
Oh
have one
my
job. I have
God.
no. You should stay out the comments. I have no choice but to be in the comments. of my own thing. I have to give them a 100 sign for the answer, or not that song, right? But the thing is, Instagram sometimes, if it's a lot of comments, it'll cut people's comments.
Mm.
Like it'll hide them. So then people get triggered and they'll say, "Oh, you not answering my question. No, my answer." Oh, and I'm like, first of all, Instagram only allows me to see what they allow me to see.
True
But yeah,
story.
you need to stay out of the comments.
Absolutely.
I'll be ready,
You,
man.
you and my
I'll be
mama.
ready.
You
I'll
and
be
my
ready.
mama need to stay out
Yeah,
of them. You
that's
and
I'll
crazy.
be ready.
Yeah. Well, all right, fellas. Let's get this topic started, man. Who wants to start it off?
Bo, you said you had something coming into this.
I did.
Okay. All
I
right.
did have something in there.
But,
This.
but, but, but
Go ahead.
before we go forward, just want to let the audience know,
Yes.
we all pick a topic between the three of us throughout the week, and we speak about the topic. It could be anything that comes to mind, whether that be, politics, whatever the case may be. And us as boys are just going to converse about it, and that's how we do it. So none of us know what we're going to bring up and how we're going to respond to what we're going to say. So I'm intrigued to know what you have to say, man.
And
What you got?
also, we've also been knowing each other for
Thank you, Justin.
25 plus years
Yeah.
at this point, high school, middle school. So this is like A1 day one talk right here.
Yeah.
And we talking like we always talk. Y'all just get to witness the greatness that we talk about now. So you're welcome.
Okay. Anyway, give me what you got. Okay. Nobody
Uh,
knows.
yeah, that's true, though. I mean, if I
Hey.
put that out, we'll work on the tapes. I don't know, man. It may
Oh,
end some
once we get this
careers.
popping, we put this on. I don't think we'll need a career once Stoughton get out.
Yeah.
It's
Them
it's
tapes when I was in
viral.
high school, we were doing
Oh my
social media
God.
before social media was even doing it.
Yep.
That
If
was
True.
YouTube came out 5 years after we was doing this, and
That's true.
Literally.
YouTube was popping when we was in high school,
We was
y'all would already know us.
It'd be out of control.
Dudes was communicating via camera.
Yes. We was
That
doing
was
the
It's
Vlad
so shit.
interviews,
Yo,
the
man, yo,
Cocaine City interviews,
oh my
way
God.
before all them
That
dudes.
was
it's
crazy,
so
dog.
true. I'm walking around with a camera for real in school.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
real time. I don't even know how I was allowed to do it.
Remember
Like
me
they
and
didn't even
Chucky
think
used
it
to
was
talk
that.
reckless to each other in them things.
Wow.
Back and
There was
forth.
so much.
I
So
don't
much
even know.
crazy. I
It's
remember.
crazy.
Singing
It was
battles.
crazy.
It was not. All right, man. So tell me what's going down.
I'm gonna tell y'all what's going down, but it's like literally about them tapes. It's gonna be crazy because it's almost like some freak off thing. I gotta figure out what's going on with those
No,
things
it's
first.
not like
I
them
gotta
freak
It's
off.
check
not
it.
you
It's
meant
gonna
Freak
freak
Nick.
out.
Not like them freak
Freak
off
Nick.
things. It's not like that. Not
Ain't
at all.
nobody had no freak offs.
Nobody is
Uh,
doing none of that
Not us.
energy on those videos.
Not us. Worst thing we did was I threw a lot of wild house parties, but I ain't have a freak off at them.
I
Freak
mean,
off
yeah, I
battles,
mean,
man.
yeah, I
Because when
mean,
you say freak off battles, that is a
Freak
completely
Nick.
different
Freak
thing.
Yeah,
Nick.
Freak
All right,
Nick. I mean,
thank you.
my
There we
bad.
go. All
Clear
right, I'm
that
happy
up.
that we
Totally.
can do that
We
nowadays.
canceled already.
That's just crazy, man. What a world we live in. Anyway,
Boy.
All right. So not yesterday, last week. It was not recorded, y'all. But what I asked these gentlemen was regarding their children because they are proud fathers, right? And what I asked them, well, what I was saying first was, a lot of times black males don't get any love. Males usually in general don't get any love for, being fathers anyway, but especially black males don't get love for being or credit for being fathers or being in their children's lives or all those things. The narrative is a lot different, right? So I wanted them to elaborate on how it feels to be a father, one to Justin's daughters and um, one to Steve's son. Now, I'm going to expand this a little bit. They had some great points on it. I want them to talk about that again. But what I really wanted to say last week, which is going to, I hate to do it, but I have to do it, is in general in society now, since dating and things are really interesting, as we see on social media or we hear from our friends, or you may have some experiences of what's going on with dating in general, right? What in 2024, we're in 2024 yet now, we're not in 2025. Why should a male get married
Oh, I'm starting because I'm
in
married.
2024? Now you're
2024?
married.
Yes.
Go for it.
I've been married since 2014. I've been with my wife since 2006, 7, almost 20 years at this point.
Yes.
And if you're not already married, don't do it. Don't do it. In modern society, marriage is only for the woman. You can still be a great father. You can still be a great man. You can still be a great person. You don't have to be married. It is personally, I think, it's an outdated philosophy. And again, this is coming from a married person. My wife may not be happy if she watches this podcast with me saying it, but that's how I live. I take care of my responsibilities. I do everything I have to do as a husband, as a father. And at the end of the day, besides the love that you receive from your family, and the comments are gonna go crazy for this, you don't receive nothing else. You work very hard, and at the end of the day, you make one mistake, they'll take your kids, you gotta pay alimony, you might lose your house. It's a lot of things that go into it. Now I know times have changed, and it's more equality, and they don't just make them take the kids from the man and all this, that, or whatever. But to me, and then also seeing what these people are putting online and these women are saying and stuff like that, it's no reason for a man to get married anymore. You can literally, the stupidest saying in the world to me was, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Fuck, you got a cake for then.
So I'm
Have
really
your cake and eat it too, brothers. Have your cake and eat it too. Don't
so
you put it in the freezer and watch it. Eat that cake. Gain them pounds from eating them cakes. Slap them cakes up. Okay? Because the cake stops.
Hey man, look. All right.
hold on, see, hold on for a second, hold on. So as a husband,
Or
so as a
slows
husband,
up.
so as a as a husband, remember what you're gonna say, Steve. As a husband, right? So you're saying as a husband right now, it's a duty to be a husband.
Yeah, it's not
It's
a
a
privilege.
duty.
It's
It's
not
a
an
duty.
honor.
It's a duty.
Yeah, it's a duty. It's a privilege. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not a privilege.
Okay.
The only privilege that I have over a man that's not married, that has children, is I get to wake up every day and my kids are in my house.
Got it. Okay. Okay. No,
And
I just want
again,
to.
you could Mike Jack that. They all want a high value man. Get your bread right, fellas. Get you a surrogate. Get that kid, bring it to your crib. Don't play the games with these people no more, man. You don't even need them no more. Science. I'm a biologist, by the way, people.
This man's been telling me this.
Has come a long way.
Yeah,
Yo,
man.
this
What they
man's
be
been
All right,
telling
saying?
me
all
this.
right,
Sprinkle,
all right, all
sprinkle,
right.
fellas. Sprinkle, sprinkle.
But that goes. We had a conversation recently about a movie that we've all seen growing up, where the babies were made in a lab, and when it came to physical contact, they were machines. If you from a certain era, you would know what I'm talking about. Not going to mention anything, but came out in like the 90s, early 90s, and it was talking about that being a thing, in the future. And what you just said kind of like correlates with that. I am not a married man. And I would like to say that, when it comes to marriage, and I know plenty of a lot of my boys. I was a best man in one of my boys' joints. I've been to a lot of my guys. Um, weddings, you know what I'm saying? I've been a part of a lot of my guys' weddings. And what I say as far as marriage, because I can't really speak on why you wouldn't, because at the moment I am not.
Well,
What
you
I can
can
say
because you would be if
is,
you wanted to be.
all right, true story.
That's
There
another
you go.
question.
There you
That's
go. There you
another
go.
question.
But to come back to even to attack myself, right? Come back to exactly what you just combated. Um, you know, it, what I know and what I've heard from every one of my boys, older, younger, whatever the case may be, hard work. It takes hard work. It's a level of commitment and change as a person that you need to be willing to do when you commit to a partner in that way. So when you do make that decision, whether that be male or female, you need to make that decision in knowing that, we need to compromise with each other. My issue and with the relationships that I've had in my lifetime has always been my level of compromise. I never liked to compromise. I'm also not trying to get too personal into my life or whatever the case may be,
That's
but
what they want.
I am a product, what I'm saying. This is crazy. I hope
Just spit
this
it
is
out.
crazy. Yeah, I'm a
That's all
product.
good.
I'm a product of parents that have been together for as long as I've been alive, and they're not married. You know what
And
I'm
they still
saying?
together.
And they're still together.
Mhm.
And I see the benefits, and I also see the issues for not being that way. Obviously, next stuff you can be on each other's such and such and blah 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 blah. That's something that you really you want to do. But I've seen more people that's gotten married, relationships and stuff like that dissolve into nothing than I've seen my parents. Now, don't get me wrong, there's ups and downs and everything. Point blank
Hmm.
period, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sitting here saying that my parents are like, what I mean? I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, they're still together now. And God willing, you know what I mean? They'll end up, when it's all said and done, being together when it's over. And they never got married, right? So I'm not saying that you necessarily need it, but you have to have an understanding between the two people of what the outcome is, right? Like, because if somebody has a successful career and another person has a successful career and they date for their entire lives and never get married, the lesser aspect of it is insurance or blah 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 blah. But in the same breath, if you are successful on both ends, you don't necessarily have to get married in order for you to have a happy life with someone. There are relationships that people have where they don't have kids and they just live together forever. You know what I'm saying? Or even
Hmm.
marriages that are together without kids and having a happy time. It all depends on what you want. Because at the end of the day, right? Like you said, Justin, we make the decision, right? We
Mhm.
like, all right, well, I want to marry you, but
Yes.
our wives need to still, this is gonna sound crazy, but it's gonna be true. Um, you know, our wives still need to be who they were when we married them, if that makes sense. I married you for a reason, whether that be, how you made me feel, whether that be you pushing me to be better, whether that be you thirsty in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? You versus, 10, 12, 13, 14, 20 years later, you aren't the same person that I met when we first met, whether something shifted or whatever the case may be, and a dude leaves his relationship or divorce happens or whatever the case may be. You just have to keep the same energy, is my message, to not being married, or you know when it, or if that opportunity ever presents itself. I've seen it from a different perspective than a lot of people. And marriage isn't a bad thing. I know plenty of dudes that are happy that are married, you know what I'm saying? But I also know plenty of dudes that aren't happy and are married, if that makes sense.
That
And
make
for the record, I'm not saying I'm unhappy. I'm just
yeah, yeah,
a person who keeps it real.
yeah.
And I have told several people I know who were getting married, you sure? Because I'm about to tell you, it ain't what you think it is. All these old motherfuckers over here, I'm getting that bleeped out. All they want is to see you in misery like the rest of us. Okay? people don't tell you what the real is.
No, they
People,
don't know. They're not supposed. They don't
no,
do that. They
people
don't do that.
change.
It's
People,
it's hit or miss though.
it's hit or miss.
No, Justin's right
People
about the change
change.
thing. He's right about that change
People
thing
change.
because I've spoken to a plethora of married ladies at the same time, and they said this one thing, and I never forgot it. This was actually not even a year ago. It was random, but they said, Mo, you know, we've been married and stuff like that. I don't even know how this came up. I just happened to be there. But they said, yeah, we've been married, a long time. A long time. This is not one woman saying this, but they said, us when we go through changes and different things like that. And she's like, it's not necessarily a good thing for the man to have to sit there and deal with that. Like, marriage is okay, but we have children with these guys and then these men, and then we go through some changes, and it's not necessarily okay for them to have to deal with that out their mouth. I'm kidding. I'm not making this up. I was just something I
This is
never forgot it. I was like,
my
oh,
last point in this conversation, right? They just recently came out with a statistic about,
The divorce rates.
yes, the divorce rates. You see the divorce rates, right?
Yeah.
50-50 for men, women, 70% for, lesbian relationships or whatever the case may be. And then, I think it's
Yes.
like lesser for the men, correct? You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? Like a man with a man.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, I'm not here to sit here and be like, oh, it's their fault because
Yeah. It
we
is.
do
It
some
is.
fuck too.
It is.
We do some crazy stuff too. That's all I'm saying. But it's shown. What's the line? Men
Men
lie,
lie,
women
women
lie,
lie, numbers
members
don't.
don't. That's all I'm saying. So
That's
I'm
right.
done with that conversation.
but
Thank
you know
you.
what? But you know what? At the same time, too, Steve, I will say that I think men do understand like duty, meaning when you're married, it's a duty. You have to figure out how to provide. You have to figure out how to do certain things, this, then the third duty,
Yeah,
right?
it's not for the weak.
Right.
I've heard
And
it plenty of times
I've
from
always heard ladies say, they can't wait to be married or be chosen to be married. But I have never heard a lady say, I want to be
A
a
wife.
wife. I've not I've not heard that.
Steve thinking, I see his eyes.
Have you
Hey
ever
man,
heard?
I'm thinking. I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm
Nope.
going through all of that.
A man,
Nope.
they want a, husband can't wait to get married,
I want to
but
start a family.
I
Is
want
a
to start
big
a
thing.
family. But it's like the role of being a wife. A role of being a wife is a duty as well,
Yes.
It is. It's
right?
It is.
100%.
It's a duty as well. And
Yeah.
I think, I'm not saying the generations are different from 2024 to back in our parents' days or grandparents' days. I'm not trying to say that, but I'm trying to say I think that there was a different commitment of duty between both, and no social media as
Yeah,
well. No
yeah,
Yes.
social
yeah,
media as
yeah.
well, because
Yes.
it
Can't
hasn't
look
been
from that
dating.
perspective though, due to the fact that there's a bunch of dudes out here that would just, hey, I'm about to leave and go, pick up some milk and never show back up. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And from that perspective, like way back then,
Absolutely.
where they couldn't even,
They
put
can
in,
handle it.
and
Absolutely.
they could. I mean, I guess they had no other choice, right? But in the same breath, they were looked at differently because now they were a kid. They were not a widow, but a woman with a child that wasn't married in a time where that was frowned upon. Then they had to quote unquote go out there and find another dude to try and provide because at that particular point in time, finding a job and you working out in the workforce was it's different.
Very true.
It's different.
It's
It is
different, bro.
very true. I totally
Different.
agree with you. I totally agree with you. But
I'm just
Different.
again, marriage, men decide marriage. I feel women decide if they have a child or not.
100%.
I
100%.
am I wrong, or am I
100%.
wrong or right on that
You're right.
point? to
It's
decide to have the child or not, regardless of the person there.
100%.
I can go into, so if we say the C word, if I say the C word, condoms, right? That's like bringing a vampire out the sunlight. Like, listen, ladies don't like to hear it. Men don't like to hear it. Women don't like to hear that C word either. When I say condoms, they go,
RAW.
ooh, it's like a vampire burning in the sunlight. Vampire.
RAW.
Listen,
I
Old
dig it,
dirty
but
bastard.
and I hate to
blacker than me.
like pull in some interesting stuff that we talked about more recently, but due to what's happened more recently within the last couple of weeks, it looks like that option is going to be pulled off the table for them. Got to have it regardless.
Well, yes. But
You know what I'm saying? So
I'm
it's
just
like,
saying. So is the C word going to go up in stock?
No,
I will
no.
buy some condom stock.
What did
If
you
people
know what
are they
Austin
going to
Powers
still
said?
use it?
You know what Austin Powers said? Condoms are only for sailors. Filthy buggers going around from port to port, sleeping with everybody. And he was from the 60s. Motherfuckers don't like condoms. Men or women.
When I say it, people get quiet and like I see it.
Men or
Like
women.
they start burning and stuff like that. Like
Men or women. If I'm going to prove why I know people don't like condoms. If you watch TV late night, I watch a lot of Adult Swim. I'm a nerd. Okay? They show commercials where if you take this pill, it protects you from getting HIV. Why? Because don't nobody want to wear fucking condoms. When I started having sex, I had to wear condoms because I didn't want to get AIDS or a baby. Now you can take the pill, you ain't gonna get
absolutely. It's interesting. You are. You know what's crazy? And why does this keep rolling into what it's rolling into? Because you say that,
I
right?
hated to
You
say the
say that.
question.
And you say that. And throughout you saying that, I remember watching, being of age to be able to watch the first. Now, we live in the land of reality television.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we were a part of the generation young enough.
The real
There's a couple
world.
people older than us,
Real
and a couple
world.
people. We saw the first one, and one of the dudes that was featured on that joint had AIDS. And that was a thing, right?
Damn,
Everybody
we
was
were
so
young, man.
nobody
Damn.
wanted to touch him, and my man Puck was going in.
Puck wasn't messing with him. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Remember
saying?
we seen Puck working
Yeah,
at the
we
taco
did.
restaurant. He was a
Yes, we
busboy,
did.
Mo.
When we went out to LA, that was crazy. That was crazy. Off camera. Anyway, yeah, that was crazy. It was, but anyway, and now, we're watching commercials where they're like, yo, if you got that thing, you can just come get this medicine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Once
There was
every
no
3
medicine
months.
for my man back then. You know what I mean?
Nope.
We lived in an era to where, we watched it be combated, which is nuts, right? But I mean, not to necessarily switch subjects, but to jump into my subject, right? What I was going to do,
Please do.
I had two.
Uh-huh.
But I'm contemplating on which one I'm going to do.
Drop them.
Just hit them, because
all right, bet. I'll do the more lighthearted one first. Yeah, man. Shouts out to the fact that this is a new age nerd era. There's so much things that now run the world, run the world, more so than ever, that people were frowned upon when we were growing up. And especially frowned upon as we were growing up as African American kids growing up in certain areas, in certain neighborhoods, that wasn't necessarily all about the things that they would quote unquote think we would be about. And that'd be like comic books, superheroes, anime, all that crazy stuff, video games,
pop culture in general.
There you go. Right? So we watched
pop culture in general.
We watched it
like
become
certain bands.
Where it is, right? We watched it become where it is. And I think that it's an interesting time for people because they see that these quote unquote new age nerds have more to offer the world than just liking what we like. We can be athletes, we can be appealing men, you know what I'm saying? We can be hard workers, we can be, successful businessmen. How do y'all feel about the new era of the new age nerd?
One thing I'm going to say about the era of the new age nerds, one thing I don't like about the era of the new age nerds, just off rip, Blurs, black nerds. Why we gotta put ourselves into a fucking category like that? Like, why we always gotta put ourselves in a category? Like, a nerd is a nerd is a nerd. Period.
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Oh,
That was
I'm
my
in a
first
group.
time ever hearing that.
Yeah,
I did
I'm in
not
a
know
group.
Yeah.
I'll send you the invite.
Wow. I
Blurred.
did not know that.
Yeah, it's a whole movement. Black nerds.
That's cool and all, but
It's cool, but my
I,
point is,
I don't necessarily
I
think that it has to
never
be like centralized.
considered myself. Well, first off, it was never
Black
cool to
this.
be a nerd in the first
You
place.
heard me, Mo.
True.
Yeah, it was never cool to be considered a nerd in the first place. People used to say back when I was in high school, middle school, "Oh, I heard you're a nerd," and it's like, why? Because I can read and I get good grades. I was like, if I'm a nerd, I'm the coolest nerd you ever gonna meet because I got the hands, I got the mouth to rip you apart, and I'm handsome. So if that's the label you want to put on me, that's fine, because you fast forward, 30 years later, 30 years later,
I knew
all
it.
them books I read, all that stuff I was reading. My mother used to make me, in the summertime, she used to make me go into the dictionary and write a different definition every day. I hated it as a kid. I appreciate it now because my lexicon is through the roof, and it has now passed on to my children. My oldest daughter has a vocabulary that's better than most 40-year-old people that I work with.
I believe it.
So the connotation of being a nerd and it being negative, those days is over. Nerds get money. Okay.
Oh yeah, and that's what they want
Nerds
now.
get money. This is not this is a Billionaires Boys Club Batman hoodie. Who got this? All right. I got it because I'm a nerd. I collect mad stuff.
Yeah,
Okay?
you do. You be
I got
putting me
collections.
on. He'd be like, yo, Mo, get this, Mo. He's sending me. Yeah, I'll be like, I'm on it.
I told Steve one time, I sent him a message and was like, yo, check these jackets out. He was like, yo, these jackets is fire. Cameron was like the model for the jacket. And I was like, I spend so much money at these stores. They send me the spring summer lookbook so early I can order my stuff now. And he was like, what? I was like, it is what it is. So call me what you want. Just don't call me stupid and don't call me broke. Nerds is in. We win. Period.
It's the truth.
Period. I ain't have to dunk. I dunked the ball one time in my life. I know motherfuckers who did it hundreds. And guess what? They ain't in the NBA.
You're right. NBA is not for everybody. You're right.
I'm a leader in my industry. I did it with sneakers. I used to flip the candy back in the day.
Yeah, you did. I remember that.
I got the I'm getting in the vending machine. So if you a vending machine king, this is gonna be your new king soon. FYI, remember this face. I'm coming for your crown. And I'm in pharmaceuticals. And I took my spot there too. Everything I touch, I take it. So nerd, whatever you want to call me, conqueror, king, it's all mine. Whatever I want is mine. This nerd brain makes everything come in his hands. So you keep talking shit because I feed off of it. That's why I be in the comments.
But
the black nerd thing, though. Continue. Go ahead, Steve.
That was great. Nah, Mo, it's on you. I asked the question, man. I'll finish it off.
Yo, but the black nerds whole thing sounds wild. So when you said it, I was like, wow. You know what? I'm with you on that. I do not like being put in a box of black this, black that, black that. I'm here.
Because we be the best anyway.
Individuals.
We don't be the best black.
Why do you have to line us in here in this box and say this is where we need to be?
Yes.
You can't be a nerd. You have to be in black nerd something.
Yes.
Or even wilder was the whole thing with Black Twitter. Y'all know. Do you remember that? Do you
You
remember
I
was
that?
was
looking for it.
I was lost.
Okay,
I
y'all
was
were on the
lost.
message when I was looking for Black Twitter.
Yes.
You
I
remember?
didn't. I was like, yo, what is Black Twitter? Yo, when I first found out
I'm
about
not
that,
making
remember? Okay. Yo, I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, what did I download it? That's how like A, disconnected I am. But B, you know
me.
what I'm saying? It was like, what? We have a Black Twitter? So we're on
Saying that.
Twitter, but we're calling it Black Twitter?
Yep.
Kay was saying that. Kay was like, "Yo, Black Twitter, but got this and that." So, yo, I go like looking at the app store to Black Twitter. I'm like, "Yo, okay, maybe you got. I guess there's a Black Twitter out here." I'm looking. I'm like, "I don't see no Black Twitter." I go on Google
Yeah.
Black Twitter, and then it's like Twitter. I was like, "Yo, okay, there ain't no Black Twitter up there." He's like,
Yeah,
"Nah, Mo, you got to go on to Twitter. You know, the Black people section." I'm like, "Hold on. So you mean to tell me?" Hold on. I said, "Nah, nah, nah." So you mean to
yeah.
tell me?
I was lost, dude.
Hold on,
No,
y'all need
no,
to
no,
tell
no
me.
shade. But I was lost.
You was lost too. Listen.
Yeah,
I came to the front of the congregation. I
me
don't
too.
mind being
Yeah.
lost
We
or dumbfounded. I came to the front of the congregation. I
wait,
said, "You mean
what?
to tell me that I had to go on X or whatever the case may be, whatever it's called now, go into comments of whatever, and then see the Black people's comments of Black people's side because it's called then it's Black Twitter. So you mean to tell me nobody invented their own and called it that? So we're
Fan
on
base.
somebody else's platform. So we're on somebody
Fan
else's
base.
platform, right?
Just bigging it
And
up,
we're
boosting it
lifting
up,
up somebody else's
Yes.
platform.
boosting it
Oh,
up. That's what
can
we
I
do,
That
man.
to me was wild.
It's what
you
we
know what's
do, bro.
you know
We
what's
charge
funny?
the world.
And here's why it's funny. Black people made Twitter popping the way that it got popping. Why the person who own it now is an offspring of apartheid. That's what we do. That's what we doing, Black people. That's what we doing.
And
We we
that's the
we,
and
we
that's
we
a big
line
issue.
everybody else's pockets.
That's
Come
a
on
big
now.
issue. We worry about Gucci. You worried about Prada. You worried about all these bags and different things like that.
Mm-hmm. Can't even get a
Uh,
job in the store. Can't even get a job in the store.
but they looking at you funny, but you sitting there trying to buy their stuff. It's just something to think about, y'all. I
Yep.
went off topic, but I'm sorry. But it was just
That's
about
what we're
it
gonna
was
be
about the
doing on
nerds thing. It's about the nerds thing. And you know what? Listen, it's cool to be a nerd. It's great to be a nerd. You know what? And if any kids are watching this, keep doing what you're doing and keep reading,
reading,
keep
reading.
reading, keep yourself in an iPad, keep yourself in building websites, keep yourself building
Yes.
certain things, keep yourself in
Absorb
AI. It's okay.
absorb meaningful
Especially
content, something that's
especially young
teaching you something.
especially young Black males, young girls, keep doing whatever you want to do with that. You create your own Disney, create your
Yeah.
own films, start creating your
Mm-hmm.
own films, start doing things immediately because you can.
Thank
You have
catch.
a camera phone, you can do it. Put it on Tubi, make your own Tubi. How
Word.
about that?
We might have
So
to we might have to make the
I
product of
think
the
it may
movie.
have to be. I
Yeah.
think that may have a good idea.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
how we're
Okay.
talking about it. We're
Um,
talking about it.
I
But that's the
brought
thing.
up I brought up the question because I think back to my youth and I remember playing board games with my brothers, you know what I mean, and not like the typical Monopoly and shit stuff like that. We played that type of stuff, but we played things like Dungeons and Dragons and Hero Quest, Battle Masters. You had to roll dice for attack and defense. And my older brother has such a broad imagination. So when we finished the chapters in the book that you had to do, you know what I'm saying, he would come up with his own stuff. And then we would have our own little thing, you know what I'm saying? And the reading of comic books. Between the three of us, we've been to countless amount of Comic Con. You know what I'm saying?
We went to the
Comic
first
Con.
Comic-Con in New York.
Ah, man, it's great.
First one. They
Yeah.
never even had
Ah,
it on the East Coast. We was in the building. Stan
um,
Lee bumped into my brother. Me and
I
Steve
remember you
froze like
said that. I
schoolgirls.
remember you said
I
that.
ran. I got the picture. Action shot. He was
I
walking
was
away. I
like,
got the.
I was like, I remember the shirt. I had the Avenger shirt. I almost
Yes.
wore Justice Lee's shirt. He looked me in my face. He nodded at me, looked me up and down, see my shirt, nodded at me. I froze. He walked away. I was like, oh my God, Stan Lee. They mobbed him. They
Dog.
mobbed him.
I turned around,
Mobbed him.
ran. Perfect timing. Took the
Mob,
picture as he was walking away. So it's
mob.
almost like an action shot. Like it's blurry, but you can see him perfectly. That was nuts. We had
Yeah,
a chance to be a part of that. I had the opportunity to meet, my first time ever being starstruck, meeting Stan Sakai, a few times. Mo, you were there. You know what I mean? Like that aspect of
we met
who I
who,
am.
Leroy.
Uh, I think Sack Leroy, right?
No, your brother came to with us one time, and he
Yes.
went and dapped up Bruce
That
Leroy, and
Bruce Leroy. Yeah.
right,
Oh
yo,
yeah.
that again, black nerd stuff.
Yes, there. You know what I mean? Like there,
I'm sorry,
present.
nerd stuff. Black
That being said, even when it was, frowned upon or looked down upon or whatever the case may be, I mean, he was able to mingle with people from all types of different areas because of it. And I think it's cool, man, that, watching anime when anime wasn't a popular thing, you know what I'm saying? And being up on these cool action cartoons and,
hmm
Thundercats, Transformers, all of G.I. Joe, like rocking all that stuff growing up and then being able to know that there's so many different people from all cultures that are into the same thing I am. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? And that's where, you know, that energy, because a lot of the people growing up glorify the D boys and all sort of stuff like that, but look down upon some, kid that's gonna be watching some anime. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And unfortunately, sometimes the D boy gets caught up and he gets put away for some time or whatever the case may be. But that kid that was watching anime and studied hard, he's reading, doing what he need to do, accomplish some major goals, and now you the guy that they're looking for. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because you didn't sway for who you were, and that's why I appreciate how we are as
yeah,
as as men now. We even talk about things that we see more recently. You know what I mean? And we bounce off each other from that perspective. Kay jumps in the conversation to try and find out. You know what I mean? We got all types of cool stuff like Black Panther and really dope characters of our from our culture that are in these books that nobody knows about, right? So it's interesting to see the Black Panther movie, which dope movies, dope movies. I love them both,
But we
but
know the comics. We know the comics, which is so
that's what I'm
yeah,
interesting.
saying.
We know
yeah,
the
That's
comics.
a
yeah,
small fraction of how dope Black Panther is.
yeah,
You know what I'm
Exactly. And
saying?
and I
yeah.
think and they could have did it and to us, they could have did a way better
Better
job.
job.
Like
They
Way
they
better
could
should
did a
have.
job.
way better
I didn't
job
like the
in
end of the
showing
first
it.
movie.
For the first
The
movie,
white savior at the end. Come on now. Come on now. That was your cousin, bro.
leave Vanilla Zaddy alone. Leave Vanilla
That was
Zaddy
that.
alone.
Yeah,
He's a
that was his
rescuer.
cousin. He killed
Vanilla
his
Zaddy.
cousin for the white savior for
I,
the shield agent was a white boy,
Yeah, and he gets his cousin.
and
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was the
yeah, yeah.
white savior. Steve in the end of that movie, he saved the day.
He did. He came in. He came in. He was in the
He was
joint.
shooting in
He had the shooting the
the
thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
but
First
but
white
this
man ever in Wakanda type. Come on, white
yes.
savior bullshit.
I just think they could have did a better job
Killmonger
in
was
Black
right.
Panther.
I
They
didn't
could have
even think about that.
they
That's
could have
Oh, I
that's
that
how
did.
deep it is. That's how
Yeah,
deep it
man. I
is.
told
Justin
people at
said it
my job, they was
immediately.
blown
He said it
away.
immediately. He
Yeah,
said it immediately.
I
But
can't mess with that. The
you know what
end.
the
I like
thing
the
about
movie.
it?
Don't get me wrong. Great movie. I hated the ending.
I love the movie. The problem was with me was they had a big opportunity to show in Wakanda the education of those girls and the
Yes.
education of the kids and the
Yes.
different things, how they learn how to
Even the
fight. They
warrior
could have
class.
warriors. They
They
could
could
have
have showed the
showed
training of the
the
little
training.
kids.
Oh my goodness. They could have showed how smart they were, the schooling, the different things they were doing. You know what I mean? How the girls rock the Dora Milaje. You know what I
Yes.
mean? How they bred them from the children on.
Yes.
How their technology is world class
hmm
beyond Tony Stark and everything's knowledge. They
Yes.
had a big moment to
The
do the
the
education part.
the metallurgy that goes into being able to craft the vibranium. That's takes some thought.
And
It's
they
the
could have did it
they could did
quickly.
all of that.
They
That's
could have did it
chemistry at
quickly
a high
enough
level.
to put it in people's minds. The fact that they didn't do that, and at the time now, shout out to Denzel. Shout out to Denzel.
so
I
happen.
respect
That's gonna be
Denzel.
beautiful to
I
see.
respect my man
It's gonna be
Denzel.
beautiful to
But
see.
What are
they're
y'all talking
bringing in
about?
Denzel. Okay, so Denzel Washington now is
Yeah,
going to be in Black Panther.
yeah, he's gonna
On
be in the
next
Black
one.
Panther. And he said he
Yeah,
only got 5 movies left.
5 movies
After these five
left. He's
movies,
retiring.
all done by black directors, by the way. But after these 5 movies,
Ooh.
he's finished.
So we
So
getting
I'm
Spike
interested to
Lee,
see this.
Kugler. I hope he don't do a Tyler Perry because I don't want to see my man in the dress.
Nah, he won't do
Nah,
that.
he's not doing
Um,
that.
I'm
no,
just messing
no
around,
true
but you
shade
know,
to Tyler. I've never really watched Tyler Perry movies, so
nah,
I'm
his
not smart
movies
about what
is
to say.
Yo, you know what's so crazy about saying that
oh
Tyler
yeah.
Perry thing? You know that there's a thing on my Netflix that popped up. I don't know if y'all saw.
Algorithm off the hook.
So there was a thing on my Netflix that popped up about some black girls with a stripper and something like that, and it was like it's a Tyler Perry produced film. I was like, I'm about to click. I was like, you know what? I'm
It's
gonna
yeah.
pass.
I don't know.
I went,
I ain't got no.
no, I don't got nothing against him. It's
I'm not
just
trying to
not.
hate on
I
anybody
don't.
that likes him, but
I just don't like black people depicted in certain ways.
It's
I
yeah.
would love black film and stuff to be more predicted, like Cosby's, more of having have doctors, show doctors, Heathcliff Huxtable, the
That's why they
Huxtables, and
jammed
family and
them
stuff
up.
like that. That's one of the last times we've seen
Boy,
some
That's
prominent,
that
that's
might
prominent,
my
have to be a show in
prominent
itself.
things and
that's
things.
my
Show
that's,
in
that's
itself.
my idol. I don't you can't say nothing bad to me about no
Right, right.
Dr.
You
Cosby.
know,
I
but
went to
Dr.
Cook
Cosby,
University because of that man.
see Dr.
Come on
Cosby, and
now.
he made the spinoff of Different World for the
Yep. Come on.
HBCUs.
Come
So
on.
I mean, that's deep to see that depicted on TV at that time. And right now we don't have any, I don't know if we have any positive. I don't know. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't
Mostly,
know if we have any
It's the
positive
it's the,
shows on. Do we
mm,
need, but my thing about saying Denzel, I'm
I don't
sorry,
know any. Yeah.
Denzel was more about respect to him, but now we have to draw in big names for Black Panther because are we going off? We're going away from the character breakdown. Is that what it is? Yeah, I'll wait for the movie to come out, but now we
I
have
mean,
to throw in
I
big
don't
artists,
know.
Black artists
Well,
now instead of going to the
unfortunately, the
story.
loss of Chad Boswick was horrible, right? Like
They should
that
just
was
recast it.
horrible. That definitely they are going to recast him now that they introduced the son, right? So I'm praying that the
Oh,
next
that's right.
movie
Yeah.
they fast forward. You know what I'm saying to now the son is a teenager,
Yeah.
It's
and
got to
15.
be
he's
now.
learning. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like to hope that that's what they do with this information, and I would love also like to see Denzel play like a teacher. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody
I would
that
love that too.
groom,
Yeah.
like not look, I hate to use the word grooms, but yeah, I mean somebody that like you know, you know,
Mentors.
yeah, mentor. There
Mentors.
we go, mentor somebody that
Leads.
mentors.
Guides.
Yeah, Lord have mercy. Mentors him into becoming the next Black Panther. You know what I mean? I think that would be pretty cool.
Ah,
Yeah,
But
that would be
yeah.
good.
Justin, do you have a question?
Uh, question. All right, let me see if I got a question. Um, we talked about the election
Oh yeah.
last week on episode 1, which is now in the ethos um of our memories. Um, how do you feel about the things that the president-elect has been saying on TV lately? Steve put
I
me on to
What's he
game
been saying? What's
yesterday.
he been saying?
I'm very
I
happy that
haven't been
you
on
said that.
TV.
That was my
Yes,
second question. That's
yes,
my second question.
about the Second Amendment and how he was going to abolish state permits and that you was going to be able to carry across state lines. And again, for the record, I am a very I'm strongly behind the Second Amendment. And the reason I'm behind the Second Amendment, because if I'm an American and I'm supposed to have all the rights that come with it, that's the second one, that I'm supposed to have a gun. So how do y'all feel about that? Because I personally feel that crime is going to drop, because if you don't know who got a gun, or if you can see everybody got a gun, you're not going to run up on a person to rob them. But it could go the opposite way. I'll let y'all speak on it. What y'all think? Come on.
All right, all right.
Go ahead,
So
Steve.
I was gonna bring it up. I was gonna
All
bring this
right.
up. So I'm happy that I said what I said versus saying this originally, right? I think it's absolutely insane. And the reason why I think it's insane is, you know, at the moment, because if we, excuse my language, but if it's about to get really real, yeah, I'm probably going to have to go out and get a gun permit, right? But I don't have one, right? I grew up in a very, very bad area. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, and people may think about it and be like, and hey, it might have been nothing to whoever's hood in any place that they've ever lived, right? But it was my reality. And I grew up around drug dealers. I grew up around, murders behind my building. I'm outside playing football. My brother's just brains on the street. You know what I'm saying? Like from the dudes that got killed the night before. You know, like my whole hair was shut down because they killed the drug dealer in the area, execution style. And the drug dealers that lived up where I lived at shut it down for the whole day. Police couldn't go up. I've seen that stuff so often. And now you give people the opportunity to 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 carry these things, hot headed. Yo, you may or may not be cool, or whatever the case may be, or that might be somebody from New Jersey that may know you or don't know you, and they in Pennsylvania, you know what I'm saying, and whatever the case may be, or in Connecticut or anywhere. You say something slick, y'all out there, like, everybody's shooting at each other. It's a completely different animal when you allow people to move in that movement. Don't get me wrong, you deserve to have your weapons. If you are upholding citizen, you deserve to have your weapons. You deserve to protect yourself and your family. I'm not against it from that perspective. I'm against it for the fact that there's been how many shootings in the United States in the last 5 years alone? High school shootings of kids getting mass murdered, going to school. My son
What type of high schools though, Steve?
doesn't matter, Justin.
That's the
What I'm
dude,
saying is,
because it ain't in the
listen to
inner
me. Listen to
cities.
me. Listen to me.
It ain't
Yeah, I
in the inner
understand
city.
that. Yeah, we live in a place where it might not have
That's
been in the
true.
inner city. We live in a place where it might not have been in the inner cities, but it did happen. And it happened to a bunch of kids that are the same age as my son is right now, right? So
Our kids are close in age, and
I
I'm
guess
not.
they are.
I'm playing devil's advocate here, though, Steve.
I understand. I
Thugs
understand.
don't go
But
to school. The people in
I
our
understand.
community who bust guns don't go to school.
You're right. I understand that. But in the same breath, my son is now being trained to be able
I don't
to
like that
make.
either. Yeah,
He's being trained every
gotta
day
hide.
for these gun. You know, he's
Yeah,
having nightmares, all types of stuff like that, because this stuff is happening in the world that we live in today. And if you give a bunch of people the right and to be for it to be okay, that is not going to happen. I just don't feel like it's going to pour over in the right direction. You have faith in humanity from that perspective, but I don't, bro. You know
I
what I'm
never
saying?
said that. You go.
I
You put
understand.
words in my mouth, sir. I
You
have no
started the
faith in
conversation.
humanity.
You started the conversation by saying, you know what I'm saying? We have the right to bear arms,
Yeah,
and you know what I mean. Yeah, we do, but it's giving guns to the wrong people sometimes, bro. And that's how I feel. I don't think it's right. I think it's the craziest thing on the planet.
yeah.
That's my personal opinion.
They always gave the guns that got into our community
Mm.
don't come from us, no way. They come from others. You didn't heard the stories in LA how the train showed up and it's 20 cars deep, and the old people's like, leave that train alone, and the dudes went in the train, it was full of AK-47s. A Uzi is made in Israel, Steve. How dudes had Uzis in Norwalk, Connecticut in 2001? I seen them.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff too, but
So I'm just saying,
I understand
they
it's there.
already here.
They already here. They definitely are, bro.
They
But
already here.
you're giving people a certain type of people a level of energy and reassurance of themselves due to certain scenarios. And we already seen some crazy stuff happen at the Capitol when my man was leaving, right? Can you imagine a bunch of people that have guns on them and it's okay for them to have them? That would have been a war, bro.
Hey, hey, what my man New Jack said? Shout out to my man OJ. Two less we got to worry about. Keep up the good work.
Oh my God.
That's who would have been up in there in that war. That's where I'm coming from. All right. All right. I'm sorry, Mo. What's your opinion? Because we got to wrap soon. What's your
Oh
opinion?
yeah. Oh yeah. So, so I think it's bigger. I think it's bigger than um going past, state lines with guns. I think it's bigger than that. I think the reason why that person is abolishing that Second Amendment is because the more guns is the higher money for them. It has
Oh yeah.
always to do with money, right? I'm always thinking of the bigger what's really going on. So, you know, people don't I don't care how many people die, how many churches get shot up, how many people of um black descent, Jewish descent get, killed, guns, anything. They want those, they will never stop and put a law against those guns.
No.
The money, they're so thirsty for money. You can all die as long as they make their money. It's always going to be about money. People will bend over, spread them, and
Oh,
twerk out to
mm,
big gun money daddy.
yeah.
Pause. Pause.
Nah, no pause, nothing.
I
That's what
understand.
they
That's
want to
still
do.
sad.
That's what they want
I
to
got you.
do. That's what
Mm-hmm.
they want to
They're
do.
gonna do
I'm
it.
not doing it.
They're gonna do it.
I'm not doing it. Nah, I'm not twerking.
You know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
spreading
You
nothing for
already
big
know.
gun daddy. Hey, listen, I don't have it.
Hold on.
It's been, you know what? Because in family, guns and families have it's taken away too many families, it's taken away too many people that we've known, and
A lot of people.
it has destroyed generations of families and has stopped people from being born,
Yeah.
which is a whole nother scenario too. So if they want to spread them, no Diddy, no Trump for
Shit. Pause on
if they want to
last.
spread them and twerk out
Oh,
for them guns and shake it for them guns and all that
oh my
money, because
God.
people will do anything for money. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all.
It's true.
They
I
will do
know.
anything for money. They get on
I
the
know.
pole for the money. They'll do whatever they got to do. They're desperate for money. They twerking out. It's working out. People are like, look at my Bitcoin now. Oh my God, my Bitcoin.
Yo.
Oh, I'm shaking my cheeks. Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? What are you talking about right now? There's a thing called laws. There's a thing called laws and integrity. And there's a thing called money. And laws and integrity are going to be taken away for money.
Hey, it's like this. There's two things. This is one of the last points I want to make. Certain people, I personally feel their culture is guns. They they teach their kids from a very early age how to use them. I mean, I've been to a range. I've seen 4-year-olds. I've seen 5-year-olds.
I bet you that's interesting.
It's certain people, it's their culture to teach their kids guns. And their God is the almighty dollar. It goes hand in hand. We just
So
happen to live in a country where those people who worship the dollar and their culture is the guns run the country.
so that's my point. Business is business.
Yep.
Business is business, and people don't care about the integrity of a person or a company or anything. So I don't care what laws need to be deleted, what laws need to be deleted for people to make that money, honey. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Hey man, I definitely dig it. But on that note, I think it's my time to shine, fellas. I really enjoyed I guess first episode 2.0.
One
Uh
point, one point,
one,
1A.
1A. First
1A.
episode 1A of Everybody Has a Mic, man. Yo, fellas, it was wonderful conversing as
Yeah.
always. Um
Always, brother.
we're definitely gonna have to get some more camera time soon, dog, because yeah, that you know what I mean? Shouts out to the gentleman that will be, doing our editing, my man Sack.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Just put it out there. We gotta give all love to everybody at all
that's right.
times. Fellas,
Yeah, man.
love you both. Please be
Yeah,
safe and
love you
connected.
guys.
Y'all too,
No
Yeah.
doubt.
man. Always, forever, ever,
Yeah,
ever.
man. You
Keep it
already know the
real.
deal.
Yeah, now.
Always, man. Holla at me
Always.
now.
All right,
Yeah.
yo.
Yeah. That started recording.
Bullshit. Oh my God. Let me text this man, Steve, and tell him.
I'm
I can't
alive,
believe
yo.
that. I feel,
I'm gonna say, yo,
again,
we just did
Tesla
a
learning
whole
curve.
hour. I love it. We just did a whole hour and it didn't record. I like that though.
Hey,
If that's us.
it's us, one, and two. Also, we was able to do this, and we did not hit many of those do not say words.
That is pretty good though.
So
That is true. That is
I can't
true.
believe I did
So
that.
when so nah, that's good though. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna send the other program anyway and see how that works anyway. So we get that. But I like that even though y'all didn't see what was happening, we're gonna fade this into the new
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
gonna fade this into the next one. But
Yeah.
we did
We
an
just,
hour, but we just didn't record it. But we're gonna go over the top. We're gonna go over the
well, next week, We're gonna have topics. We'll have new topics.
It's true.
We can talk the same topic
Like,
again.
no.
Again.
You could, yeah, exactly. We can talk about the same topics, but I'm happy we talked about this topic because it's gonna go into my next topic with the
Yes.
same thing. So it works out. It works out. We'll do a longer episode. We'll just do a long episode.
Yeah. Well, so next week, now I know how to work the joint. I didn't realize I had to scroll down money. It literally said, it literally showed. If I share my screen, hold on, I'm about to share the screen. This is what I see when I share the screen. If I can find the damn thing. Oh my God! Of course, it won't let me share the screen that we both on.
All good.
Either way, it literally
good.
says your video call is being recorded. It said that before, and it said select the language for your caption. So I was like, none, because I already hit on the thing manage recordings. So I thought just hitting the manage recording button was it going, and then I was sitting there thinking, I was like, hey, ain't really running nothing, but he was in the moment.
We were
it
going.
Is what it is.
It's all good. No worries.
You live and you learn. Yeah, we got it. So
we'll keep this part and then we'll swing it into the next one.
Yeah, beta test video right now. All right, money.
All right, now.
All right, Peace.
Peace.